Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be looking at r/InsaneParents, a brand new one today, which is always infuriating. I actually tend to avoid this subreddit because it annoys me that much. But it was on suggestion of one of you lovely lot, so I'm going to take a look at it. I am in the comfort of my nice cozy bed, which kind of takes away the blow a little. I mean, I am in my cozy bed because I fell down the stairs yesterday, so I have a massively bruised backside and it hurts to sit on my chair. But we're not going to talk about that, okay? So if that sounds like something you'd be into, then stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. If nothing but for my poor bruised derriere. So we're kicking this one off with I, non-binary, 21, tried to wear a skirt to our Christmas lunch. My mum refused to leave the house until I changed, and I told her I wasn't going to change. By the time we got in the car, my uncle got impatient, we were 5 minutes late, and cancelled the dinner. That's a bit extreme, is it not? Sounds like you come from a family of control freaks there, my friend. It's funny how she goes, that could have created a violent altercation, as if I wouldn't be the victim of that violence. Yeah. Now I've got to get my laser-focused eyes on to read this text. I hate these green bubbles. Hate them. Can't stand them. This is why I do not like iPhones. Anyway, let's not get into that one. So, green is the OP and the grey bubbles are the mum, I am assuming. You either accept me completely or not at all. You can't be accepting of me until it makes him uncomfortable. You can't be accepting of me unless we're in public. You can't be accepting of me except for when it's inconvenient, because that's not true acceptance. Here, OP. And then mum says, this is not about me. It was an intentional going out of your way as a big F you to my brother. Dominique's is not a public restaurant where it's appropriate for a man to wear a skirt. Okay, already clearly doesn't accept OP's identification because they are calling OP a man. Already we can see where this is all coming from, can't we? It was going to create an uncomfortable environment for everyone there that could have created a physical, violent confrontation, and you know that. The intent was Dan wanted to treat me, and we included you because we wanted you to be able to come for a nice family Christmas dinner. You turned it into something about you and your identity, and we can add your hatred for me. Now nobody is enjoying a holiday get-together today or tomorrow. I do accept you, and so does Grammy, and quite frankly, I don't think my brother gives an effing shite one way or the other. So what's the problem with the skirt then, love? Clearly, you don't accept them because you wouldn't be acting like a massive bellend if you did. What? And then OP replies, 1, I'm not a man. 2, if none of you gave a shite one way or the other, then you would not have given a shite what I put on this morning, as long as it looked nice. 3, pretending that I'm the problem here is bigoted. 4, I honestly wasn't thinking twice about what I was putting on until you made it about my identity. 5, I do not accept other people limiting me because they have issues of their own that they have to work through. 6, I did not ruin Christmas. I'm not the effing Grinch. Yeah, you did not ruin it. They ruined it. I mean, for God's sake, they've already said, oh yeah, we accept you. Then why would they be so bothered over a friggin' skirt? You know, it's an item of clothing, and like you say, if that's something that you wear often, then you would have just put it on without even thinking about it. Like, people just sometimes like trying different fashions. Why does it have to be that they're trying to make a big statement all the time? Why can people not just wear clothes that makes them feel good? You know, why is it always got to be some big thing? And it's always the bigot who makes the big deal out of it, and they're like, oh, you were trying to do it for attention and blah blah blah. It's like, mate, if you hadn't made a big deal of it, no one would have said anything. Like, you know, what's the problem? Oh my goodness. See, this is why I avoid insane parents, because they pee me off. Accept your kids for as they are. Just give them the space to be who they are, explore who they are, and express who they are, and be happy for them for it. What, do you want miserable, depressed kids instead? And like oppressed and depressed can't express themselves? I feel like that sounded like I was trying to start a little rap then, but I wasn't. I haven't got the rhythm. Next post. When my grandma sends messages to my sister late at night. When my grandma texts us randomly late at night, it always means that she has drunk too much wine and has something to complain about to me and my sister. This time, it was about her wanting us to contact relatives, our father's uncle and aunt, that we don't even know. We often explained that it's not our job to keep this family together and that she should please stop doing this. Yeah, put your phone down when you've had a few drinky poos, Granny, because you're going to end up with nobody. So again, it is Nan in the grey bubbles and OP in the blue bubbles, just so you know. Hello, OP's sister and I just had a long call with Great Uncle. He asked about me, dead name, and you, and would like to get in touch. But he doesn't have me, dead name, email address. I told him about you and me, dead name, and he was so happy. I think if you visit him and Herta, they would be very happy. Sorry, but I've already told you that I don't contact anyone I don't know. It doesn't matter if there's relatives or not. If someone wants to contact me, they can text me or call me. And then Granny says, I'm very surprised that you're so stubborn. Firstly, you know Great Uncle and Great Aunt from before, and Great Uncle also congratulated you on your birthdays. Congratulations, you've made it another year through life. To be honest, it kind of is something to congratulate these days. If it's not flaming bird flu 2.21 trying to take you out, it's the economy. We're all older and try to stay in touch with the family. See, some cousin of someone, but that requires some compromise. Unfortunately, our family does not always get along well. I wonder why. You cannot go pushing yourselves and others on people, Granny, that people don't know, and expect them to be also receiving of that. You know? I actually don't have a lot to do with my extended family, not because we've fallen out or anything like that. We've just never been close-knit. And I think if my mom or my dad started ringing me up going, you need to talk to these people, you need to talk to these cousins that you've never spent a minute of your adult life with, I'd be like, yeah, no, goodbye. Hang up the phone, you know? OP says, Great Uncle is an adult. If he wants something from me, he can call me because he has my phone number. How important can it be to you to get to know a distant relative if you don't even want to call them yourself? So either it's not important to him or his own pride is more important to him, which is childish. And you know him from before doesn't work at all. The last time I saw him was when I was a child. Do you really think I have any memories of that? He's a stranger to me. Genes don't play a role in that. And birthday congratulations, please. My dentist also congratulates me. I'm sorry, but the arguments are weak. I'm still cracking up at the whole congratulating for birthdays. I know obviously that maybe that's that this person is like not a native speaker of English, or they might be a native speaker of English, but maybe they come from a different culture, so they word it differently, but I've never heard it worded as congratulating someone on their birthday before. Maybe it's just not a British thing. Maybe that's something that other countries do, but not Britain. Because, yeah, we just say, yeah, you wish somebody a happy birthday. Never heard it put as congratulated. It's cracking me up because, like I say, all I can think now is it's like, well done on making it another year. Good job. Good luck for the rest of the year. Then Granny says, OP's sister, there is no helping you. But remember that people always meant well for you. Don't spoil that. Okay, now I've just realised that these texts are being sent to OP's sister and not OP. But I'm going to keep reading it as if it's from OP because otherwise my little tiny pea brain might melt. OP says, now you're threatening me or trying to make me feel guilty? I don't think you're trying to understand my reasoning or trying to put yourself in my position. There isn't a discussion. You want something from me. I don't immediately say yes and amen. I explain why I don't want something and suddenly something is wrong with me. Get some sleep and try to understand me another time if you want. Good night. Yeah, like I just don't get it. Why try and push people to have this really close relationship with people that have never bothered with them? Old Granny is making out like it's OP and their sister's responsibility to just make this whole family dynamic all of a sudden from nowhere where it hasn't been before, and none of the others made any effort, so why should it be down to them? I agree with OP, and I would tell her to go get stood on. Sorry, Granny. You might be owed, but I don't care. I'm not doing it. This next post says, my mother sees me as help instead of her daughter. My 21F mum has always been more fond of her sons, even if they made things harder for her. But this time, she expects me to coddle her youngest, 19M, him, and help him with everything, just because we live together. This time, she made a group chat with just us two, and it was about college that he's definitely not trying very much to get into. And I finally snapped and said what I felt needed to be said. Am I wrong? Mind you, I'm in school, so you're talking to someone that knows versus someone that doesn't care to go. Blue is mum, orange is brother. Mum. Such and such needs to know the severity of not taking care of the brother's fees. Not only can't you attend any school, but the US Department of Education can garnish your wages to pay for the fees if left unpaid for a period. It's important to take the time to take care of this, or your check can be taken. They are eyes that see if you're taking education important when it's time for the military draft picking also, FYI. Oh, okay. Does mum buy into conspiracies as well? Is that where we're going? OP, why are you so afraid to have this conversation with just him? You are his mother, meaning have it without me. I know the severity. I wasn't born yesterday, and neither was he. You can lead a horse to the water, but you cannot make it drink. Mum, okay, noted. OP, please don't add me to anything else that has to do with him. Not my responsibility. You don't even ask about me on my phone, so it's disrespectful. Yeah, like, why is the mum bringing you into this conversation? Like, that is not for you to have to deal with. Like, you're not this lad's mum. Like, your mum sounds like she has not grown up and does not know how to take responsibility. OP, I've moved out, so whatever you think I have to do, I don't. Mum, okay, noted. Brother, please just call me if it has to do with me. Oh my god, even the brother is saying, Mum, stop sharing my business with my sister and come to me directly. I have a feeling this mum, and then mum just puts, okay, noted. So she doesn't care. She doesn't want to hear that she's in the wrong here, is basically what that means. But I have a feeling that this mum has no idea what she's doing. She is not grown up. She is not really that capable as a parent, so she's trying to push parental responsibility onto the kid, onto her daughter. She is parentifying her daughter, and if that's been happening for a good many years, that's really sad, because OP is only 21. She should not be taking such responsibility and talking about financial decisions and college things about her brother with the mum. The mum should be talking about that with, their dad, if the dad's in the picture, or other family members, friends, work colleagues, other adults. Like, stop parentifying your kids. It's weird. Next post, my mum is insanely dramatic. If things don't go her way, she goes into what she thinks is a guilt trip. So, I, F28, had to move back home. My mum, F59, seems to think I am a mind reader and her personal maid. I just got home from work, so I'm mentally and physically exhausted. I do most of the cooking, but some days I just need time to decompress. She hasn't had a job since I was like 3, so I don't think she takes work exhaustion seriously. Where is she getting her money from if she's not had a job since you were 3? That's what I want to know. But yeah, no, your mum needs to just let you have some chill time sometimes. We all need that. We all need to decompress. Oh my goodness, sometimes I'm just like, once I'm done with my day and the kids are in bed, I literally tend to just lay on my bed, on my back. There'll be something playing on YouTube, and I'm just staring at the blooming ceiling for, a good half hour, 45 minutes, just to collect my thoughts from the day. Today, I was especially tired, having back pain, and I didn't sleep well last night. Again, I just needed time to myself. Mom wanted me to cook her 2 pieces of salmon. She's complaining about her weight and trying to scam her doctor into giving her Ozempic. He doesn't meet the weight requirement. She's in the range where she needs to exercise and eat appropriate portions. She's just lazy and entitled. I've been trying to help her with portion control, but she isn't having it. So your mum doesn't work, she doesn't do anything, and she wants you to come home and cook for her? Absolutely not. She would be wearing that salmon before I'm getting up and cooking it for her. As you can see, she doesn't speak to me in a very respectful manner. To her, "Where is my food?" is a completely appropriate way to ask me to cook for her. I was fighting sleepwalking downstairs to cook her damn salmon. The salmon was frozen, so she had to thaw it. I went to the bathroom while it thawed, and before I could wash my hands, I smell her microwaving fried chicken. I guess I didn't move fast enough. I guess my drowsy state and not rushing to cook her food was perceived as complaining. The text conversation attached is pretty normal. If I say I am tired or don't feel like doing something, that's the exact tantrum sob story she goes into. I don't even know what she's talking about. Now she's bad-mouthing me to my dad after she's finished insulting me to her sister on the phone. I get to listen to this regularly. Oh, she sounds like a right twat. I'm well aware that she's crazy. I'm in the process of getting out of this environment, don't worry. She's a toxic person that thinks boundaries are the equivalent to disrespect if it isn't what she wants. Always has been. From asking for space and time to rest to expressing I need a moment of silence. I'm an introvert, and she not only talks a lot, but talks about multiple topics at once. It stresses me out, and when I ask her to slow down, I have a bad attitude or am disrespectful. I get overstimulated very easily. I've tried explaining this to her, and instead of understanding, she gets mad. Sigh. Happy Friday, y'all. Lol. Yeah, she just sounds like really entitled. Like, what? Even small children understand very early on the word please. She's choosing to be a disrespectful asshat. So then we have the messages here. Mum is in the grey and OP is in the blue. Mum, I said I want 2. OP, that's too big of a serving, Mum. That's a bad portion control. Mum, no it's not. I'm hungry. OP, you're being a glutton. Mum, where is my food? OP, I wasn't cooking the salmon yet. Mum, let me go get me a snack. OP, you didn't say when you wanted it. I'm going to do it soon because I'm actually tired. Give me a minute. Mum, I told you I was hungry. It's almost 5. I can just find something else if you're that tired. You can do it another day or cook for yourself, you horrible woman. OP, okay, give me a few minutes. Mum, I changed my mind. I'll just eat this chicken. OP, are you sure? Mum, of course I am. I'm tired of feeling like I gotta beg you to do stuff for me. I always drop everything to do stuff for you. All I ask you to do is cook me some salmon. I didn't ask you to pay for it or go catch it or go get it. Just cook it, and you don't want to even do that. Wow. OP, I came downstairs to cook it. I didn't know when you wanted it or expected it, and I was downstairs waiting for you to thaw it out. You decided you didn't want it, so please don't try to make a big thing or a fight with me like I didn't want to do it. You're being unfair to me. I can't read your mind and know when you wanted it. Mum, you were complaining the whole time. I don't want nobody to do anything for me acting like that. When you ask me to do things for you, you want it done right then, and I jump up and do it. I need to just start looking out for myself more. What's the betting? The OP does not ask their mum to do anything for them, because I highly doubt that mum knows how to actually peel her ass off the chair, to be quite honest. OP. Okay, mum. Like your kids aren't slaves. Even if they're adults and they live with you, do I think that when your child is a fully grown adult and if they still live with you, do I think they should help with things? Of course they should. Do I think they should help with things financially? Yes. Do I think they should help with things around the house? Yes. But only an extremely fair share, only enough so that obviously having to look after, well, not look after because they're old enough to look after themselves at that point, but having to house fully grown adults doesn't, cripple you financially. Because yeah, obviously it's not like anyone's well off anymore really, unless you're really flaming lucky. I know I'm not. But I've said this before. My kids can live with me as long as they want. If they're adults and are of working age, all I ask is that they help out with some other stuff financially, like food, because we're all going to be eating and I'm not going to be able to afford to buy it for 3 adults. And also, like, helping out with the extra electric and things. But again, it would only be the bare minimum that I would expect them to do because they're your kids. They're not your little miniature servants. Next post. I, 23F, left my home to be with my partner, and this is my dad's true thoughts. Oh dear. Let's get into this one then, shall we? OP is the green bubble and Dad is the grey bubble. OP. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Since we technically don't celebrate, I hope you have the day off of work to rest a bit. Dad. Happy holidays to you too. I'm taking the rest of the week off, yeah. OP. Oh nice, I'm not because there's no point for me to take it off. OP. So I work tomorrow and Friday. Dad. You're driving back when? I thought that was this week. OP. We start Saturday. Dad. Okay. OP. Yeah. Oh wow, and here we go. Looks like Dad's triggered. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Feel free to ignore. Thanks to our collective efforts, your career is in good shape and I can see you making 6 figures in a couple years. You need a boyfriend, fiancé who makes at least 150 to 200k and start planning a good life for yourself rather than be stuck with some white trash trailer park people. Wow, Dad, you stuck up prick. As I said above, you can ignore now, but when you look back with dissatisfaction on your life years from now, was it worth it? Just to show old Dad who's really in control? I see your current actions as the relationship equivalent of piercing your tongue, an impulsive act that leads to painful infection later. Not taking my advice in college has already given you painful times later in your career. At least in life, don't make the same mistakes. You can choose to get mad, but I don't care. As your dad and the only person who's done everything for your benefit, I cannot not say this to you. Rest is obviously up to you. Yeah, Dad sounds stuck up as all hell, doesn't he? Oh my goodness. Like, what's the betting that OP's fella is a really decent guy and just comes from a normal background? Like, what is the betting? And he just looks down on anybody who isn't, like, rich. That's what that comes across as. Like, I'd like to know Dad's financial position for him to be saying stuff like that as well. Like, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones and all that, you know? And I would love to know what position he is in to feel he is obliged to say things like that. Next post, conversation with my mum about Christmas plans. I, 22F, am very low contact with my conservative parents. I guess I'm wondering if I'm the butthole in this situation. Was I being too insensitive? Context, I'm proudly bisexual and a Wiccan. I rarely even visit for holidays. I'm trying to maintain contact with my younger siblings who still live in an extremely conservative and Christian homeschool homestead home. That was really hard to say. It was like some alliteration, that. I have 7 younger siblings. 4 of us, including me, have ran away from home. 3 of us ran away with police protection. What, with police protection? Oh my goodness. Yeah, your parents obviously are insane. I had to run away from home at 20 because my parents were trying to force me into an arranged marriage. Then I got a restraining order on my father, which passed. Oh, wow. My goodness. So it was serious. Like, I know the whole topic of arranged marriage can be very controversial because a lot of cultures practice it, and a lot of cultures they practice it and it can turn out fantastic. But in another way, when it's something that is accepted by certain cultures or religions, it can unfortunately be exploited by people who do not have the woman's best interest at heart, and sometimes even young girls. So, yeah, my thoughts on arranged marriage are, I err on the side of I really don't like it, to be honest with you, because of the fact that it can be exploited for nefarious reasons. Anyway, OP is in the blue bubble and Mum is in the grey. Hi, Mum, can I come over for Christmas Eve? Mum, no, dear. We can meet up somewhere for a bit. Now, I've noticed that there's speech bubbles on this next bit, and I'm wondering if it's that OP's been like, hey, to a friend, like, hey, what do I write? What do I say? and forgot to get rid of the speech bubbles, but doesn't matter because I don't think Mum's going to notice anyway. OP, I appreciate the offer to meet elsewhere. I'd like to understand why it isn't possible to meet at your home if you're comfortable sharing. Mum, why do you think? OP, I don't want to make assumptions, but I understand if you don't want to tell me. Though I'd really like to hear your thoughts. Mum, think it through. What things have happened? What, you mean you've been absolutely batshite crazy, Mum? Is that what happened? OP, I don't know what to say. I asked you a question. If you don't want to reply, that's fine. I'd like to be able to communicate with you, but it takes two. Have a happy holidays. Mum, sweetheart, you are trying really hard to ignore my questions. That tells me a lot about whether you are working towards relationship or self-indulgence. And then OP says that the red is their uncle. OP, I'm going to assume it's either because of BS with uncle or the fact that I'm not a Christian. But I don't like guessing. It allows for misinformation. I also appreciate the fact that you're willing to meet up. But I really wanted to see my siblings. Mum, I was frankly a little bit surprised that you want to celebrate Christmas. We have never rejected anyone because they aren't Christian. It doesn't sound like it. Let alone our own children. Yes, it would not work well for you to be here at the same time as Uncle. However, he is not the only person you have hurt. Which siblings? Were you interested in seeing Dad? I've just had a thought. Like, the arranged marriage wasn't to the uncle, was it? And that's why it'll be like a really big point of contention if they're both in the same room. Ugh. Oh, I hope not. OP, I don't celebrate Christmas, but I know you and the family does. So does my boyfriend. That's enough reason for me. I'd like to see Dad too, but I can understand if he doesn't want to see me. I was hoping to see all of my siblings since it's been a while. As for Uncle, that's more complicated, but Uncle has no bearing on me seeing my siblings. I can be polite for Christmas if he can be too, but I understand if you don't want your home to become a battleground. Mum, you may have a somewhat idealized version of people's feelings about the things that have happened. When someone wrongs anyone in the family, other family members are affected. That is especially true when it is family members harming other family members. Like, what is this mum on about? 4 of her kids have done a runner, under police protection, a few of them, because clearly things were that bad. And then the mum is trying to be there like, oh no, you're going to bring a whole load of issues to my household. You can't come here. Like, your mum is lucky you're even bothering. I certainly wouldn't. No contact ever again would be the way I'd go if someone tried to force me to marry someone and I had to escape under police protection. I understand, though, that OP is doing this because obviously they have siblings and they want to keep an eye on their siblings probably and make sure that they're okay. And then obviously they want to see them. But yeah, the mum is just like so cold. There's no emotion. She doesn't care at all, and you can tell. Like, it's so odd. And on that note, I think we'll leave it there for today. With this being a new subreddit, I'd like to hear your opinions on what you thought of this one as a video, because yeah, it was a bit different, that's for sure. I certainly can't understand half of these parents. I'm just like, why? Why do they dislike their kids so much, and why did they bother having them if they didn't want to be bothered looking after them and, you know, being nice to them? It beggars belief, beggars belief. But here we are. We live in a world where some people have sprogs that should never have been allowed. Anyway, if you've made it all the way to the end of the video, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you want to leave a like and a subscribe, because I post every single day, you'll be able to find your way back here then, and I would appreciate that an awful lot also. Other than that, me and my bruised posterior are going to get off now and go and lie down on my front. So sore. I also pulled my shoulder out a little bit. So now, like, when I lift my arm, like, I just get this pain in my armpit where I think I've just yanked the muscle from where I, like, grabbed onto the railing to catch myself. Honestly, I am just a human calamity. That's what I am. Anyway, I hope you have a really good rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. Goodbye.